pretty far away. I started my journey in the US right here in Sheila and Raj's home. It's almost 21 years ago. And back then, I have very, very fond memories of many of you because I spent 6 months here. And some others, we went on a crazy trip to the Caribbean to watch India win the World Cup. And by the time we got there, they were gone, and we watched the Bangladesh-Australia match, and we had a lot of fun. But thank you, Tashu and Niku, for giving me the opportunity, because it's not too often that you get to roast your elder brother. So here goes. So I've known Raj for a long time, and he has always wanted to be the younger brother. And I have to tell you he's older because sometimes people confuse that. So I just want to clarify that. And when he came to UC, he met a lot of very bright people, and he's asking them, is there any way that I could become the younger brother? And he met some folks in the physics faculty, and they told him about Einstein. Now, I will tell you this, Raj will tell you all about his days in IIT, and IIT is a very fabulous institution. He'll not admit that he was a mechanical engineer. And when you are a mechanical engineer, you don't learn too much about non-Newtonian physics, right? So, the physics professor tells him, you know, if you travel at the speed of light, time stops. And Raj takes it very literally. And he says, oh, great. So I just have to travel really fast. And so he starts running. And this is from Facebook. He was running, and he reached all the way to South Africa. And this is on an anthill. On a golf course in Botswana, and he's still running, and very recently he was sighted in Montreal, and this is a shot of him he took running next to St. Lawrence. And guess what? He didn't realize that the speed of light is that fast. You remember he's a mechanical engineer? But somehow or the other, he seems to have proven the point. Because I don't know if you can spot him here, but just a couple years ago, this is Raj. And this is him now. And I have to welcome him. This is an incredible feat. You don't have to run at the speed of light to turn back time. Raj has just proven that. Now, Raj always follows the beat of a different drummer. You know, most people reach 50 and they're running, and they keep running, and they keep going, and soon they're past 50. But, you know, Raj takes everything literally. Remember we just said running at the speed of light? So he says, what does turning 50 mean? So he starts turning, and he starts turning, and now he's literally turned back the years. So, great job, Raj. Now, I work at the Cleveland Clinic, and some of you may know this is if you believe the US World News and Report or whatever, it's one of the top 5 hospitals in the country. And they heard about this. They said, there is this professor at UC who's stopped time. It's actually turned it back. And they said, we have a guy who knows it well. If we can figure out the secret, we're going to make a lot of money. So I've been on a secret mission for about 2 years now to try and figure out how he stopped time. So I was at Harvard the other day, and someone told me that they have this fabulous program. It's called Facsimile of the Brain. Basically, it does exactly what you think. It takes images of the brain inside and faxes them to you. And it allows you to see everything about what a person is thinking. I said, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So they said, you got to go and talk to this guy called Mark. I'm like, how am I going to find a Mark? at Harvard. So I started asking. And apparently everyone knows him because he had left Harvard, and because this app sounded so creepy, he started to call it just FB. And then after a while, he just called it F. And so this is the app. And so I friend this guy on Facebook, of course, and he tells me, yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to allow everyone to see what's in everyone's brain and make money, by the way. He said, that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. So great. So I start using this app and I peek into Raj's brain. Now I'm going to need some help here from you guys. So these were the first faxes that I got from this app. And I started to see a pattern here. One, and this is real, guys. And what do you see here? More than 50% of the images have something to do with food or drink. Like, this can't be right. You can't be sitting amongst food and drink and losing weight. Something's wrong. And if you do research, you say the N is too small. We need a bigger N. We need a bigger sample. So I say, okay, let me get, instead of 12, 16 pictures. So I get 16 of these. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Half of them have something to do with food or drink. I'm totally confused. I'm like, I can go back to the Cleveland Clinic and tell them, if you live amongst food and drink, you lose weight. And then, can anyone spot what the secret is? It hit me today. So, you can see a couple pictures of him drinking. Do you see a single picture of him eating? So that's the secret. And I'm going to be rich because essentially what you got to do is just take pictures of food, don't eat it, and post it on Facebook, and you will lose weight. So, you know, enough talk about Facebook. You know, I was wondering about what happened to Raj. I've known him a long time, 48 years. And he's been a loner, right? Look at him here. The beautiful beach, he's all alone. And even in the middle of Washington, D.C., he's all alone. Even on the steps of the Capitol, he's all alone. And this is not just a fluke. You go back a long time, and he stands apart from the crowd. Okay? So what would prompt someone like this to suddenly embrace Facebook and start interacting? How many friends do you have, Rajan?
Real friend?
Okay, he will not commit. So 1,500 at last count, I think, or somewhere close to it. So I asked him one day, Raj, why are you doing this? What is changed in you? And he gave me a very long story. So you're going to have to be prepared for this one. So this is Raj's version of why he is using Facebook. So, anyone heard of Higgs boson? Anyone? All right, good. Yeah, I'm talking to UC faculty here. Okay. So, I'm a dumb medical guy, but what I figured Raj tells me is Higgs boson is this God particle, right? And there is this field called Higgs field. And every particle that goes through the field either interacts with the field or it doesn't in varying degrees. Okay, you following me? Right. So it goes through, if it doesn't interact at all, the particle could be this big, someone more like me, and you would not weigh anything if you go straight through. If on the other hand you are real small but you interact a lot, you weigh your mass. And at CERN, where they just found it, this is what they said. Success, finally citing the Higgs boson, the thing that adds mass to the universe. It's a chocolate-covered strawberry, right? Okay. So now you get the idea what Higgs boson is. So Raj heard this story, and his friend was going to church, and he overheard the pastor. And the pastor says, there's this Higgs boson trying to get into church, right? Some of you see it on the right. And the pastor goes, "We don't allow any bosons in here. What are you trying to do?" He says, "No, I'm Higgs boson. I'm not a boson." And they say, "Oh, you are the God particle? You're trying to be God? There is no way you can come into the church." And Higgs boson says, "Well, then how are you going to have a mass?" So Raj heard this story and he says, what is the biggest field out there? The biggest field out there is Facebook. It's got 900 million people all connected to each other. And he says, I'm just like I disproved Einstein, I'm going to disprove Higgs boson. And so he's out there trying to make as many interactions as possible in the Facebook field and still lose weight. And this is how he's going to disprove it, right, Raj? But that's Raj's version of the story, and I'm at the last point here. So I actually found out what the Facebook secret is. How many of you recognize this curve? It started at 32 on 18th of May. Absolutely, the Facebook price, and it shows the progress of Facebook. Now, guess who bought a lot of shares of Facebook? And I think that is what is going on here. He's single-handedly trying to prop up the prices here. So, Raj, thank you so much for putting up with this, like I put up with you for 48 years. So, no, kidding aside, Raj, this has been a memorable trip. Amazing memories, and I'll cherish this forever. And thank you so much for being my brother. Thanks for all your attention. That was the longest speech I've made in a while.